G'day, I'm James from Chili Coffee Company.
And I'm Douglas from Chili Coffee Company.
And we are 2FB Cooking. And today on the show, we're going to be using our Dragon's Breath espresso coffee syrup for all of the things we're going to make right now. So we're going to make a couple of different things, and we're going to also show you something that was released this week. Firstly though, we're going to be doing a slow cooked corned beef. So I'm going to show you how to put that together and do that. What are you going to do, Doug?
As little as possible, James.
Right, so I'm going to give Doug some jobs because he's not doing much. And I'll tell you what, I've got a little thing underneath here that I need done. So, boom. This is some fresh prawns. And Doug, I'd like you to peel them for me. Leave the tail on, but just peel the rest of it off. While you're doing that,
That's enough for me. What are you having?
Yeah, well, you just keep doing that because we're going to do a new take on a prawn cocktail. So that's something really different with our syrup. Now, I have got a bit of a bowl here. I am going, Doug, would you be able to pass me that big bowl just there, the front bowl on our slow cooker?
I can only do one thing at a time, James.
Well, I know, but you know, maybe two things at a time, you know. Oh, that's lovely, thank you so much. So, we're going to put this here, make a little bit of space. And as you can see, we've got a nice piece of corned beef here. Now, I'm going to grab a couple of other things just to show you what we're going to do. Doesn't that look interesting? Lemon soft drink. Ever seen lemon soft drink before in corned beef? No. So we are now going to grab a little knife here. I'm just going to pierce the packet of our piece of corned beef.
So why is this so special, James?
This is special because this is being made with our Dragon's Breath. It's a very simple recipe. You don't have to do a whole lot. It's going to be really simple. All it is our corned beef. It'll be a quarter of a bottle of Dragon's Breath, a can of lemon pub squash,
Yep.
a chopped up potato, a chopped up onion and a carrot in the slow cooker, and then topped up with a little bit of water and slow cook it for 5 hours. That's as simple as it is.
So I don't have to stand here for 5 hours to wait.
No, you have something to eat before that. And anyway, I've got to open the champagne soon. So, as you know, last time we were at the show, we did the show. The champagne was only for the people not working. Well, that's not today. Today, it's the opposite. The ones that aren't working, which is Doug, he gets nothing. I get the champagne because I'm sort of worn out.
I'm doing it.
That's it. I'm pretty worn out. So, it's really funny. But I'm just going to get a cutting board here. So, on our beautiful corned beef, all we're going to do is about a quarter of a bottle of the syrup. Now that might seem like a lot, but it really isn't. We want to cover the whole piece of corned beef. The citrus in the soft drink and the little tiny bit of sugar will act and actually balance everything out. So that's the Dragon's Breath. All I'm doing here now, I'm just rotating this bit of corned beef just so the Dragon's syrup is coating everything. Obviously, you know, in slow cooking, it will coat through the whole lot anyway as it cooks. Now, that's pretty simple. We've got a potato, got an onion. Now, look, we don't have to teach you how to chop up potatoes and onions. This is just rough cut. I'm going to use a little knife. It doesn't matter. It's nothing special. But what we will show you later on is what we're going to do with the carrots, the onion, and the little bit of potato that's in this dish, because we are going to do something a little bit different. Okay, so we put our squash in. So it's really simple recipe. It's some squash. You can use lemonade as well because that works just as well. Piece of corned beef, potato, carrot, onions, Dragon's Breath in a slow cooker. Now, if it's not quite covering the meat, you can always put a bit more water in there. So water will do that. This meat will shrink quite a bit, so I think there's probably quite enough there. It's really simple now. The lid goes on. It goes into our slow cooker and we turn that on to high. So I'm going to come over, well, I'm going to get out of the road of Doug because he's in the way, but that's okay. We're going to put that in here and we're going to turn that on to high. Now that's going to take about 5 to 7 hours, nice and slow, and that should cook up really, really lovely.
What else are you doing, Jim?
Well, now what I'm going to do is we're going to do a brand new take on prawn cocktail. Now, some of you young people have probably never even had a prawn cocktail, but back in the 70s and 80s, that's the one thing you'd have before you start the rest of the meal. It was a bit fancy, and you have a prawn cocktail. So, prawn cocktails, really simple. I've just got a little cos lettuce here. I'm just going to chop the end clean off like this, and we're just going to decorate the cups, because that's all it really is about, is decorating the cups, and then to be able to put the prawns in the cup. So I've got these 2 cups here, and all this is really doing is opening up the cos lettuce like this, just making so it's wide enough, and you're just going to line the cup. This isn't hard, this is really easy. The lettuce, more so than anything, is just for decoration, to make it look good. That's all, and it does that. And what the piece de resistance, what are we going to do now? Well, it's really quite simple. I'm going to make our take on Thousand Island sauce. I've got a plain glass, just an old jar. That's what I'm going to use to make the sauce. So if I just put these to there for 1 second, and I shall grab myself a spoon. And these are brand new, so I probably didn't even take the lids off them, which I'm going to do now. That's nice. We'll put that in the lettuce department. So it's a really simple matter of tomato sauce, mayonnaise, and the secret ingredient is dragon's breath. Traditionally, it would be mayonnaise, tomato sauce, and Worcestershire sauce. But because ours is a coffee flavour without chilli, this is just perfect as well. And it tastes fantastic. So it's a really simple matter of being able to open up the lid because they're childproof. We're going to do...
Stop with you then, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm mad. We're going to do 2 good spoonfuls of... There you go, that's about 2 good spoonfuls. Lucky draw. 2 good spoonfuls of tomato sauce as well. 1, 2, that looks about right. Now the good thing about making it in a little glass like this is that you can see how much liquid you've actually made, because really, truly, you want a little bit to go in here and a little bit to go in here. You don't want to make a great big bucket full of it, unless you want to keep it for other things. That's what you can do too. So we're going to do about the same with this. I'm going to scrape that little bit off so I can see it a little bit easier. There we go. And we are going to go dragon's breath. 1, 2, 2.5 spoons of dragon's breath in there. I'll just scrape this off. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Keep one there. Put that in the lettuce department. Put the lid on this one. Now, Doug.
Yes,
close that up. Now, you've got to get artistic in a minute. But before you do that, I need a champagne. I'm a bit dry on the throat.
Thank you.
I'd love to be able to offer one to these boys and girls, but you know what they did last week? Last show, I had my little red champagne bag on the table, which is really famous, and they took it out of me. They gave me some grief on the old interweb.
Girl bag.
I went, you know what?
Girl bag.
Girl bag. See, here it comes, girl bag. Well, so I've got a traditional ice bucket. And am I being a bit hard to do, boy? Absolutely. Are they getting any of this champagne? No. This is a really famous champagne. It is my favourite. So if you're ever thinking of buying me a bottle of champagne, Doug, rose champagne. Rose made in name, still a flower. It's the most magnificent. Why is it rose? Because it has a little bit more Pinot Meunier in it, and it's fantastic. So look at that. Isn't that nice? Doesn't it look good, Doug?
It does. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
Come on, James. What about me? You know, I'm here hardly. I peeled those prawns. That looks so nice.
So I've got this lovely little stopper here. That's from Mercier. Now, if you don't know who Mercier is, Mercier owned Dom Perignon for years. And they were at the big trade show when they put up the Eiffel Tower. There's a little bit of not. No, that's not for you, that's for me. You get to do this job next year, sunshine. What you're going to do now, Doug, because you're going to do some work, And only the workers get champagne.
But
What you're
last
going
week
to do now?
you did nothing.
I know, but I had to drink. So, today's thing, it's all about me, really, truly. Now, what you're going to do with these prawns is you're going to drop them and decorate them on the lettuce. Meanwhile, all you have to do with the sauce is shake and taste. Look at this.
This is what you want me to do?
Yeah, make it on the lettuce. Make it look pretty. Make it look like someone wants, to come out from the waiter and they go, oh my God, look at that cocktail, look at that sauce, it's fantastic.
There's only 2 glasses. What's Angela going to do?
We're sharing them.
Okay, right.
One glass for you and one glass for Angela and myself.
Okay, right.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Oh, I found the skin. Lovely. Delightful.
Now, might you say, why am I tasting this? That's a good question. But there isn't a chef alive today that doesn't taste his own food. And if you're not tasting it, how do you know it's good enough to go out to the customer? That's a true story. You probably do it at home. And look, that's the right thing to do. Now, do you want to try this?
Not really.
Good. He's not trying it at all. We're going to put it on here.
Hey, you're the cook. I'm going to eat it when it's ready.
Of course. So all we've got to do now is get rid of that spoon because I licked it. And I could use it for Doug, I suppose. But you might use the bigger spoon here.
That looks very strong.
Now,
is it good?
It is really good, Doug. Yeah, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And this is traditionally what you do. You don't put it all over the prawns. You just put it in the centre. That'll fill up down the bottom there.
How did you learn this, James? Where did you learn this?
Oh, look, I've been around seafood for a really long time, Doug. And, I was lucky enough when I was little when I was an apprentice, I worked on a lot of seafood restaurants doing the plumbing. And the chefs took a shine to me mostly, and they would tell me stories of how to do things. Look, this is really simple. This is our dragon syrup sauce. The whole thing, premise about what we're doing is to showcase how you can use this particular syrup in different things. We've just used it in our corned beef, and now we've used it as a garnish on the classic prawn salad. So, there you go. That's that done. Fantastic. What do you think? It's a bit weary, this cooking business. I might have another glass of shit, but why are you looking at me like that for? Unbelievable. You people are unbelievable. Anyway, cheers.
James?
But you know what?
Enough.
I am going to bend over and do something very nice for my friends and share this gorgeous bottle of rose champagne with them because this week is a very, very special occasion and some of you may know it and some of you may not. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Fantastic. Now, what I've been talking about is this. So, I guess you can hold this if you stop drinking for a second. These 2 bottles, this is Dragon Espresso, 4 real milk. Now remember that, 4 real milk. 4 real milk espresso, iced coffee with a little touch of chili, first in the world. Absolutely, without doubt, first in the world. This one is Dragon Espresso. So it actually has Dragon's breath, sorry. That's the espresso, this is the breath. See, long weeks, we've had long weeks. So, Dragon breath. Now, this one has a little bit more spice back in your palate like this. And we're not really doing anything much more than showing this. But here is the thing to show you why we're showcasing this today. This is the syrup that goes into the milk that makes this. It's just that simple. And we're very fortunate to work with Farmer Greggy, Tracy, Uncle Ray, and to be able to produce this. We were out all week last week, going to customers and showcasing the milk. And in fact, come Friday morning, they were sold out.
Yep.
So they're bottling today.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So they're bottling today, and there will be more for this week for any customers out there that want it. So if you see it, go down to your local shop, ask for 4 real milk Dragon iced coffee. It's absolutely fabulous.
Red lid, it's a bit spicy. Bailey's, as good as.
Absolutely. So that's that. What are we making now? Well, we're going to do a little bit of something which is pretty classical. We are going to make a gravy. Now, I've got this little pan on here and she's bubbling away. We'll just let that bubble away like that because we want it to actually bubble down a little bit. And I'm going to grab this container right here, which has a little bit of our stock in it already. Now, for gravy, you don't need a whole lot, but you want to make it with the flavours you've already made when you're cooking the beef. Just about every household has something like this magic. Now, it's a gravy, of course. We know what that is, but this gravy going into here is actually going to make our already syrup even that little bit better. Now, Doug is going to have his corned beef on a bread roll. I'm going to have mine on a plate with a bit of gravy. So it's up to you again. This is the other thing. If you want to have vegetables, you want to have all those things, I prefer not to use the vegetables that are cooked with the corned beef, but what I do with them is I do this. So we're going to go over there to that pot. I'm going to grab in front of Doug. Sorry, Doug.
I'll move.
He'll move.
Do I have to do anything today? I'm really enjoying this.
You're allowed to drink now. So isn't that good?
This is the way it should be. I should be watching you with a glass of champagne.
So I've just grabbed a few of these veggies. I'm not grabbing all of them. Don't need to grab all of them. And I'm going to put this over the top of here. What I'm going to do now, I've got a wooden spoon. And I am just going to press this through this little sieve. Because part's good. Oh, how much of this should we put in, Doug?
As much as you think, James.
I'll cheers today because it's hot, you know.
You know, it's
Cheers, Doug. Cheers.
this is not my recipe, James. This is your recipe.
Oh yeah, I remember that, right? It's my recipe.
So if it doesn't work, James, it's your fault.
That's true.
But I know it's working because I can smell it. The smellometer. Oh my God. Okay.
Look,
I think that's enough, James. I think that's enough.
No, you put in what you think you should put in. That's what you do. And do that at home too. Is there a particular amount? Probably on the side of this container it tells you how much to put in. But do you ever follow rules? Do you read instructions?
No. I'm
So you just do what you want to do. We'll give this a little stir here.
I'm ready for it.
Are you ready? Are you?
I'm ready. I don't have to do anything else to it.
No, you just got to do this over here. Now all you got to do is just, once this is just mixed up a little bit, because I don't want any lumps, do we? Lumps are terrible. You know what lumps, you just want to just do this and it's all flavor. Look at that. Oh, I wish I had smell it. Can you smell that? Oh my goodness me. It is absolutely beautiful. It's going to come up with a gravy fairly quickly. As you know, this gravy box, once you put it in the pan.
I'll move.
Oh, so he wants me to do it now, right? Yeah. So I'm going to put that in there.
It's got lumps in
And
it.
that's the, you can get rid of that for me. Okay. So we're just going to get that back up to temperature now, which will fairly quickly turn into gravy. Eh? Beautiful. I'm going to grab this out of here. Put this piece of corned beef right here. Look at that. Does that look nice? It does.
Looks good.
And corned beef is a funny thing.
How did that go in 5 hours? How did you achieve that in 5 hours?
Oh, just slow cooking with dragon's breath. See, dragon's breath, the little tiny lemon soft drink.
So the magic of television.
Well, the magic of television, I know. So we might have done one earlier, just so we could have it done. But you know, that's how it works sometimes. And yeah, Doug started it off so early this morning. That's how we do these things. I don't know whether you've all cooked corned beef before, but there's a very interesting thing about corned beef, and I'm sure you can see this stuff. We've got a piece of corned beef here that has grains running two ways. Two ways. So what do you do with corned beef? You always slice it across the grain, a bit like wood really, and you slice it across the grain, which gives you the nice look of the corned beef. And if you can see here, the grain's one way this way, excuse me, and it's this way. So I'm going to take a little slice off there first and see what it looks like. Do you think it should be what, an inch slice or half an inch slice, or what do you think?
I like it fine.
You like it fine? Yeah, it's not happening. Anyway, we're going to take this off here like this. And I'm going to take this end off because no one likes the end better than me, and that's just for Jimmy.
I thought mine.
No, you can't have that one, Doug. But I tell you what. So a couple of nice pieces of that on there. I'm going to probably take a couple of these screens. Now we have to.
A bit of room on mine.
Oh, you got a bit of room. There you go. There you go. See, there's always a bit of room. I suppose I have to cut a couple more pieces up. We've got water feed here, you know, as it goes. Now look, there is a bit of fat on corned beef. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with a bit of fat. A bit of fat won't hurt you. All these people going, I can't have this and I can't have that. We grew up having this sort of fat as dripping, didn't we, Doug?
It's good.
Yeah, good for you, tasty. You don't need a whole lot.
Flavours in that?
Absolutely. Now, as you can see, we mostly cut all of that meat up on that one tangent. I'm just going to do a couple of slices here now on the opposite way, which I was talking about. And you can see, now this, you can tell when corned beef is perfection, and I'll tell you how that is. If you have a look at this bit of corned beef, it almost shimmers. It's got like a little shine to it, and that's when you know corned beef is cooked to the absolute best. So If you want to cook cauliflower, if you want to cook Brussels sprouts, if you want to cook any sorts of greens, snap peas, you name it, with this pumpkin, potato. Of course, potato and corned beef always goes to, thank you, Doug, that'll do me, that looks lovely. If you want to cook all those things with it too, that's what it's about. We're just here, aren't we, Doug? We're just here to show you the basics on what we're doing with our syrup. So today, you've got it in a prawn cocktail, you've got it in a brand new spanking iced coffee, you've got it in the sauce, and of course, in this gorgeous corned beef. So from 2FB Cooking, Douglas and me, I want to say, cheerio.
Cheerio. Good job, James. Well done.
Cheers.
Looking forward to lunch.